Hello Professor, I'm Jeffrey Rima and this is going to be my video presentation on VOR navigation. I chose this topic because I think it's important to know how to use the VOR system to your advantage when flying cross countries, even in a world that is completely changing to a world that's more GPS based. There's still plenty of aircraft that use VORs and as their primary source of navigation, and it's also important in case your GPS system doesn't work any longer. It's also a good way to know where you are flying along a course if you're using two VORs, or if you get lost when you have GPS failures, or you have some kind of issue with your pilotage, or if you find yourself in the clouds, or if you're flying on purpose in IFR conditions. So without further ado, let's get into the video presentation and discuss how VOR navigation works. First off, let's start with what is a VOR. A VOR, or very high frequency omnidirectional range, is a ground-based navigational aid, or nav aid, that uses radio signals as a means to communicate an aircraft's position from the nav aid. The VOR uses two signals, a master and a rotating variable signal. The aircraft determines its magnetic course from the VOR by comparing the time it receives the master signal to the time it takes to receive the rotating variable signal. To use a VOR for navigation, an aircraft must be equipped with a VOR receiver and a VOR indicator. Since the VOR uses radio signals to function, the VOR must be tuned into the navigational radio and verified by using the associated Morse code identifier. The VOR indicator has four components that are used to assist with navigation: the rotating compass card, the Omni Bearing Selector, or OBS, the course deviation indicator, or CDI, and the to from indicator. Once the proper VOR is tuned into the navigational radio and identified, the VOR will start to display information regarding aircraft position from the station. In order to determine the aircraft's position, the pilot must rotate the compass card by spinning the OBS selector until the CDI centers with a from indication. This will tell the pilot their orientation from the VOR station. In order to navigate to the station from their current position, the pilot must rotate the Omni Bearing Selector to the reciprocal of the bearing from the station to receive a magnetic bearing to the station. And this will be indicated by a 2 on the to from indicator. To fly to the VOR station, the pilot then simply turns to the heading on the rotating compass card. However, it is important to understand that the VOR can only tell the aircraft's position from the station. In order to navigate to the station, the pilot must make heading corrections for wind. The CDI needle tells the pilot how far off the course they are in relation to the radial from the VOR they selected using the Omni Bearing Selector. The needle deflects 10 degrees left and right. Each dot of deflection in the CDI is equal to 2 degrees off course. In order to stay on course when flying to the station with the 2 indication, the pilot must fly towards the CDI needle. This means that if the needle is left of center, then the pilot is right of course and needs to correct back to the left to center the needle. Once station passage occurs, the to from indicator will switch from to from indication. This will alert the pilot that he has passed the station and is now flying a course from the VOR station. In order to plan a flight using a VOR as a nav aid, the pilot can use charts to plot a course to and from one nav aid to the next until they reach their destination. Two VORs can also be used to assist the pilot in locating themselves in the scenario that they are lost. If the pilot has two VOR receivers, the pilot can tune them into the navigational radio and turn the OBS on each to give them a from indication on both VORs. This will create an X on the chart that will tell the pilot their location.